AskReddit by Funky Feet. People that peaked in high school, what do you do now? Let me tell you something, I haven't even begun to peak. And when I do peak, you'll know. Because I'm gonna peak so hard that everybody in Philadelphia's gonna feel it. I'm with this guy here, but I'm not from Philly. I run a non-profit organization, helping Redditors get back at the people who hurt them in high school via snarky AskReddit questions. I also give constant validation that those years are over and you're safe now. I need your help. Why do you think anyone will think they actually peaked in high school? There's a couple people who high school was the main point in their life where things were going great. It's rare but happens. And it's sad. I use that experience to become a professional mountain climber. Every few months I lead an expedition of several men to climb on top of Immerse. I misread expedition as execution and I was like WTF. There was a time in secondary school where I was the brightest kid in class, and then I flunked due to struggles with my mental health. Now I'm just trying to pick up the pieces and attempt to rebuild who I am. When they say peaked in high school, they don't mean in academia. They don't mean at what point were you putting out the most or best work. They mean socially and peer life wise. I remember legitimately thinking I was one of the smartest students in my class, but after I graduated I realized that all that was happening was I was one of the few that didn't show up to school drunk and or stoned every day. I don't know that I can say, or would be willing to admit, that I peaked in high school lol, but my trajectory has definitely slowed way TF down since then. I realize that book smarts really only would have served me if I'd wanted to go into academia. Kids I used to look at and think wow what a total knucklehead have gone on to do really well for themselves just because they chose something and stuck with it, not because they had the best grades or the richest parents. I had an uncle who peaked in high school. Class president at a tiny private school. Most popular kid on campus. He struggled with alcoholism his entire life, in and out of prison, and died last year at 62 of cancer, liver I think. Peaking in high school is often not a good story. This isn't about my dad, but he had an almost identical story. Mayo trippy. I think I peaked in the sense that it was the happiest point of my life. I had a ton of friends, I was in a band, I was well liked and popular, I just felt fucking great going to school every day even though I had to wake up at 5:30 AM every morning. But I don't act like it. I don't go around talking to anyone about it. The only time I even think about it is when a question like this opens the floor. But for me, my adult life has generally been pretty miserable. I'm have terrible anxiety, health issues, and am severely depressed. Have been now for over a decade. My peak was probably middle school. Then my mental health deteriorated and now I live day by day trying to survive without ending it all. Page through my old ebooks. CTR plus F real estate. Peak at my job. I live in a van down by the river. Deleted. Came here hoping for the only correct answer, and here it is. Damn good bartender and front of house manager. I feel like this is the common route lol. Thinking about good old days. About to officially graduate as a chemical engineer. Frankly I didn't even think I got this far. Define peak. I had a lot more sex, I was in better shape, I could go hours without peeing, my memory was better, etc. But now I'm happily married and have a lot more money. On the other hand, I'm 30 years closer to death. I know a few people who peaked in high school. From what I gather with chatting with them is that they talk about high school a lot. Which is weird because we are now in our early 30s. Answer questions on Reddit at 10 past midnight apparently. Be unemployed having wasted my life doing BS jobs and useless career and masters. The fucker has become a miserable piece of shit. Miserable. Good try though, keep hanging in there. Answer questions on Reddit for a living. Most of them are bully cops. He's called my boyfriend and all he talks about is high school.